Hello folks, this is Vlad aka Whiskey Foxtrot with another video in my Oscar Mike build log. For those of you who aren't familiar with Oscar Mike, it's my AMD Ryzen theme build. I dubbed it Oscar Mike as AMD has made some bold moves in 2017, elevating the Zen or Ryzen line of processors as probably the most value and performance packed CPUs on both the desktop and server market. Oscar Mike in military terms signifies on the move, as in heading into action, and from what we've seen so far, AMD is definitely on the move. Today I am showing the Radeon RX Vega 64 transformation from the stock air build to liquid cooled cards. I am using EKWB's RX Vega Waterblocks on both cards. EKWB is my go-to vendor for all liquid cooling modifications, from cooling blocks to fans and fittings. They have it all. I'm also proud to announce that EKWB will also power my next fully water-cooled Ryzen Threadripper build. Details to follow soon. And of course, with all modifications, I am using an anti-static table with just the help of some basic tools like a pair of scissors, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a Torx number 6 screwdriver. First order of removal is the backplate. Removal is simple. Just remove the 6 Phillips head screws and off it comes. And there we go. Set the back plate and screws aside. And let's move on to removal of the fan shroud and I/O brackets. First, determine which screws to remove. With most GPUs, I try not to disassemble the heatsink or retention rings till the end. Just like to keep an even pressure on the processor itself. And something to keep in mind is do not work on a GPU fresh from the PC. Allow it to come to room temperature at least. You don't want to risk cracking or have a quick change in temperatures cause any damage. Not that I would, but I just don't like to risk it. So picture time. Once all the screws are out, carefully start the actual removal of the fan shroud. Don't rip it apart as you risk damaging the fan power cable and the LED cable assembly. This part is a pain. As you can see here, I'm struggling with it a bit. There was a tiny bit of a bend on one of the plastic on the assembly. So I had to just pull it out. As long as you pull it out straight and put downward pressure on the board itself, should be okay. That was for the LED itself, for the illuminated Radeon logo. And here we go. The actual retention spring on the GPU cooler, on the heatsink rather. Just going opposite way. Try to keep an even pressure on it. I want to do one side all the way and then go on to the next side and so on. Again, you don't want to risk cracking this precious GPU. And just to verify that I have all screws out, looks like I do. Now we can remove the heatsink. And there it is. Everything else pops off. Same thing here with the fan power cable. That one came off easier. Alright, and there is the exposed PCB on the RX Vega. Okay, now I'm just gonna speed up again, just doing some cleanup, some pictures. I like to use a coffee filter, lint free, and I use a tiny bit of isopropyl alcohol. Okay, that covers the basic prep of disassembly of the GPUs. Now to move on to the reassembly using the EKWB Waterblock. Now moving on to reassembly. Here you can see the EKWB Waterblock for the Radeon RX Vega. Really feels solid, and as you can see on the contact points, it offers full cooling coverage on all the vital parts. Don't mind the mess of screws. EKWB includes all the screws, thermal pads, and thermal grease you need. Okay, let's start with the I/O panel, or bracket rather. Okay, now with the I/O bracket fixed, let's move on to adding the thermal pads to the MOSFETs and inductors. You can see EKWB includes it all. Just cut to size, peel off the annoying sticker thingies, the backers. I'm definitely fast forwarding this because this will take an hour. And there, that's done. As you can see, the top part, I'm not covering those MOSFETs yet. I did go back and add those later. On this particular GPU, this does not have the molding on the processor and the HBM itself, so I'm adding quite a bit of thermal grease. As long as it doesn't go over after application, which I did verify, and I redid it all. The same amount you see here. Alright, now we are ready to fix the water block. Make sure the screws are aligned. Everything is looking good there. EKWB's instructions do not include using this star spring bracket. I'm putting it on anyway. Now to attach the back plate. This is where you want to have the correct size screws. They're not all the same length. And you have to make sure that you include the washers. Those plastic washers. As you can see here, I'm first matching up all the screws, and I'm also checking for screws that go underneath the back plate so I don't miss any of those. Get those on first before putting the back plate on. Well, there you have it, folks. 2 Radeon RX Vega air-cooled edition converted to liquid cooling. I actually did the same for 2 RX Vega 64 AIO liquid editions, which are in use in my Oscar mic system. If you have any questions or would like to see something specific, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, or subscribe to get notifications when videos go live on YouTube. Thanks again for watching. Catch you next time.